Feathers, fur or fins, shell or scale or skin. If it runs on legs or flies on wings, if it walks or crawls or slithers or swims, it's got its place in the scheme of things. Feathers, fur or fins, shell or scale or skin. Fins. The fin of the shark. This particular shark is called the white pointer, and it grows to enormous lengths. In fact, this one here is bigger than I am, and it can be 3 times bigger than that, up to 11 meters. Pretty big. Frightening thought, eh? Wouldn't like to see that in the water. It's called the white pointer. It's got pointed nose and a white underneath and very sharp teeth. They're very big teeth, aren't they? Triangular shaped with jagged edges. And the teeth grow in different directions, and lots of them. And a very big mouth. Shark goes out hunting for fish. Here's one swimming around. Swimming very slowly, but they can move very fast. They have tough skin, just gently swimming through the water. You see those marks on the side of its head? They look like stripes. They're called gills, and that's how the shark breathes. And a flick of the tail, and it's off. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. I live in the ocean where it's deep and dark, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. I live in the waters off the barrier reef. I'm the very proud owner of some very sharp teeth. And seafood's what I like to eat, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. I don't like nets and I don't like hooks, and don't believe all you read in books. If you ask me, I think it's crook what they say about Aussie sharks. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. I live in the ocean where it's deep and dark, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. There's bronze whalers, blue whalers, black whalers too. Then there's the pointers, great white and blue. If you don't bother us, we won't bother you, 'cause we're all Aussie sharks. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. I live in the ocean where it's deep and dark, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. There's the grey nurse, hammerhead and wobbegong. The gummy shark wondering where his teeth have gone. I'm a true blue pointer, so I wrote this song all about Aussie sharks. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. I live in the ocean where it's deep and dark, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. I live in the ocean where it's deep and dark, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. I live in the ocean where it's deep and dark, 'cause I'm an Aussie shark. I'm an Aussie shark. My bite's worse than my bark. Hello. It's fur. Very unusual. This creature is a furry creature that can fly. Do you know what it is? It's a flying fox, sometimes called the fruit bat, because they like to eat fruit. And they're beautiful, aren't they? Look, lovely faces. And wide wings that can fly very well. Yes. And they love to hang around. Here they are flying. They look like birds, don't they? They fly as well as the birds do. Each evening at sunset in the coastal regions of Australia, the flying foxes fly off in search for food. You might see them as the moon comes out, flying overhead. Hundreds of them. thousands and sometimes tens of thousands. Here's one climbing a fruit tree. It's a pawpaw tree. And you look how it climbs. At the end of its wings, it has fingers that have developed like hooks. Very effective, isn't it? And they like to hang upside down. See? That's why they're called flying foxes. The face looks just like a fox. They love to eat the fruit and the nectar. And then, when daylight comes, it's time to rest up till the next evening. Here's one just getting ready for a daytime nap, just settling himself down. Bit of a look around, flap the wings, and spend the day just hanging around. Hanging around, what a lovely way to spend the day. Hanging around, just hanging around, just watching the world go by. Not a worry, not a care, you can't be down when you're up in the air. Just hanging around, waiting for the sun to go down. Hanging around, underneath the shady tree. Hanging around with good friends for company. What's the hurry? What's the rush? Why not take it easy like us? Just hanging around, waiting for the sun to go down. And when the sun goes down and the darkness spreads, it's time to lift those furry heads and fly. Flying fox fly. Silken wings in silent flight, shadowy shapes against the night. Eat your fill of fruit and then when the daylight comes you'll be back again. Just hanging around, relax, it's so good for you. Hanging around, looking at things from a different view. You know it's funny, but we found the world looks better when it's upside down. Just hanging around, waiting for the sun to go down. Looking at it upside down, waiting for the sun to go down. Hello, I've got a friend here having a drink because she's very thirsty. Aren't you? Do you know what this is? This is a wombat. A very thirsty wombat, I might say. And her name is Winifred. Winifred, are you going to say hello? Eh? Have you had enough to drink yet? Oh, very thirsty. Wombats like to drink, but they also like to dig. Look at those claws. See? Very good at digging, aren't you? There's a song about that, and I'm going to sing the song. But I think it might be time, before I sing the song, to let Winifred go for a little stroll. Would you like to go for a walk? Oh, look. I don't know if I want to put her down because she's as cuddly as a koala. Aren't you? Maybe more cuddly. Down you go. Let's go for a walk, eh? Here's another type of wombat. This is a hairy-nosed wombat. It lives out in the desert regions. It likes to live alone, wandering about. See, it has a very furry face and long whiskers on its nose. Its nose looks a bit like a rabbit there, doesn't it? And they grow to be quite large, almost as big as a pig. I've got short legs that don't bother me, 'cause I don't want to go climbing a tree. Down here on the ground is where I want to be, so I can dig, 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 dig. You gotta dig down on the floor. You gotta dig. Come on and use those paws. You gotta dig with those big strong claws. Dig, dig, dig like a wombat. You won't see me in the hot sunlight. I wait till it's cool, I come out at night. I'm at my best around about midnight, so I can dig, 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 dig. You gotta dig down on the floor. You gotta dig. Come on and use those paws. You gotta dig with those big strong claws. Dig, dig, dig like a wombat. You gotta dig down on the floor. You gotta dig. Come on and use those paws. You gotta dig with those big strong claws. And dig, dig, dig like a wombat. I don't like crowds, I like to live alone, 'cause I'm quite happy being on my own. And when I want to find myself a brand new home, I just dig, 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 dig. You gotta dig down on the floor. You gotta dig. Come on and use those paws. You gotta dig with those big strong claws. Dig, dig, dig like a wombat. 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 See this little creature? Most beautiful fur, and it's an amazing animal. It's called a sugar glider. It's a bit like a small possum that can glide through the air for long distances. Glides from branch to branch. Big eyes. Isn't it beautiful? Sugar glider. Lovely, thick, furry tail. It's very handy to wrap around a branch when you're trying to reach your favorite food. Now, what else is there to eat? It's called the sugar glider because it likes to eat the sweet nectar of the native flowers. Oh, I think he might have seen us. What's going on here? Look at that thick tail. Stretching again. See the flap of skin underneath its body? That's how it glides. And the tail wrapped around the branch. She's as sweet and gentle as her name implies, with a little button nose and big wide eyes. She's a furry little creature in a bird's disguise. Nothing can hold her down. Sugar glider, high above the ground. Sugar glider, nothing can hold her down. She climbs to the top of the tallest trees and sits and waits for a friendly breeze. Then she glides through the air with the greatest ease. Nothing can hold her down. Sugar glider, high above the ground. Sugar glider, nothing can hold her down. Shoo, shoo, sugar glider, high above the ground. Shoo, shoo, sugar glider, nothing can hold her down. Shoo, shoo, sugar glider, high above the ground. Shoo, shoo, sugar glider, nothing can hold her down. Nothing can hold her down. Nothing can hold her down. And one of Australia's most famous furry creatures, the koala. And this koala is called Frosty. Frosty's 19 months old, and you can see, oh, a very, very nice cuddle, aren't you? Do you know a lot of people call them koala bears, but they're not bears at all. So I've got a song about that I'm going to sing later. But before I sing the song, I'd like to tell you just a little bit more about the koala. The koala sometimes has to travel long distances to find the right food because they're very fussy eaters. This one seems to know which tree it's heading for. Another koala already there. Great climbers. Up it goes. Right to the top. Uh-oh. Someone already there. All right, well, let's try another branch. Big jump. Well done. Now, this looks like a likely spot. Ah, yes. The koala's favourite food is the gum leaf, the eucalyptus tree. And they get their moisture from the leaves. They very rarely drink. And here is a baby koala and its mother. I wonder if there's something left for them. I'm a koala, not a bear, and I don't think it's fair the way that people always add a word that isn't there. I'm a marsupial and proud of it, and there can be no doubt of it. I'm closer to a kangaroo than I am to a bear. So please don't call me a koala bear, 'cause I'm not a bear at all. Please don't call me a koala bear, it's driving me up a wall. If your name was Tom and everyone called you Dick, perhaps you'd understand why I'm sick, sick, sick. I'm simply a koala and I want the name to stick. So please don't call me a koala bear. I live here in Australia in a eucalyptus tree. I'm as cuddly, cute and charming as an animal can be. I don't understand, fair dinkum, how anyone could think them grizzly bears and polar bears are anything like me. So please don't call me a koala bear, 'cause I'm not a bear at all. Oh, please don't call me a koala bear, it's driving me up the wall. If your name was Tom and everyone called you Dick, perhaps you'd understand why I'm sick, sick, sick. I'm simply a koala and I want the name to stick. So please don't call me a koala bear. Oh, please don't call me a koala bear, 'cause I'm not a bear at all. Oh, please don't call me a koala bear, it's driving me up the wall. If your name was Tom and everyone called you Dick, perhaps you'd understand why I'm sick, sick, sick. I'm simply a koala and I want the name to stick. So please don't call me a koala bear. I mean, how much can a koala bear? feathers of the emu, one of the biggest birds in the whole world, and a bird that doesn't fly. However, it is a bird that likes to eat some corn. Some more here. And they can run very fast, even if they can't fly. Hungry little fellow, isn't he? In the outback, the emu has to search for its own food. And they usually travel around in small groups. Looking for food. And when it comes time to hatch the eggs, it's the father emu that does the job. Lots of eggs too. It's a very inquisitive bird, not many feathers on its head. Big eyes. Sharp beak. That long neck. And those long legs. So much bigger than the other birds. Off it goes for a run. Well, the emu can't fly, but boy, can he run. I wonder what it's like to be a bird that cannot fly, while all the other birds are flying high up in the sky. Well, the emu doesn't worry, he's really down to earth. I think he thinks that flying is more trouble than it's worth. But he can run, boy can he run. He thunders through the outback like a shot out of a gun. And he knows he's way around. You see a lot more of Australia, mate, with both feet on the ground. The emu's far too big to fly with wings as small as that, but he'll do 50 up a mountain and 80 on the flat. Though his plumage isn't pretty, there's no music in his song. But when he gets those big legs pumping, he can really scoot along. And he can run, whoa, boy can he run. He thunders through the outback like a shot out of a gun. And he knows he's way around. You see a lot more of Australia, mate, with both feet on the ground. Oh, he can run, boy can he run. He thunders through the outback like a shot out of a gun. And he knows he's way around. You see a lot more of Australia, mate. What's this? Skin. Scaly skin. It's the tail of a goanna. Where does a goanna go when a goanna's going away? Well, this goanna's gone into a log, but they sometimes climb up trees because they can climb very well. The goanna is the largest of the Australian lizards, and it can grow up to the length of 2 meters. There are lots of different types of lizards and goannas. Let's have a look at some. Look at that head and long tongue. The skin of the goanna is so thick and scaly. And big claws. They grow to be so large, some of them grow well over 2 meters in length. This one looks like it could be a distant relative of the prehistoric dinosaur. Thick folds of skin and a forked tongue. Striped body. Here's another pattern. It's climbing up a tree trunk. Try to get into the sun. They like to be where it's warm. And this is called a racehorse goanna. See the spots all over its body? And a very long tail. Doesn't seem to mind where it walks. Out of the way, please. Where does a goanna go when he wants to go on a trip? Does he go in a boat or does he go in a ship? Does he go in a train or does he go in a plane? Nobody knows where a goanna goes, 'cause only a goanna's goanna know. Where does a goanna go when a goanna's going away? When he's going abroad, where's he going to stay? What's he going to wear? How's he going to pay his fare? Nobody knows where a goanna goes, 'cause only a goanna's goanna know. Where does a goanna go when he wants to go on a trip? Does he go in a boat or does he go in a ship? Does he go in a train or does he go in a plane? Nobody knows where a goanna goes, 'cause only a goanna's goanna know. Nobody knows where a goanna goes, 'cause only a goanna's goanna know. Nobody knows where a goanna goes, 'cause only a goanna's goanna know. This is one of the most amazing creatures in the whole world, and it's only found here in Australia. It's covered in fur, and it's called the platypus. It's a sort of a mixture of lots of different animals. It's got a beak like a bird, but of course it isn't a bird. It's got webbed feet, so it swims like a fish. It lives in a hole in the ground, but it spends most of its time in the water. That's pretty incredible. Every now and again, the platypus will climb out of the water, start to groom itself, have a bit of a scratch. See the big duck bill that it has? Then back into the water. It lives in freshwater streams and lakes and estuaries, and is constantly looking for food. Webbed feet, perfect for swimming, and long claws so it can dig as well. And see how it uses its duck bill, pushing the rocks. Its bill is soft, actually. And if there's nothing to eat on the bottom, then it'll come up to the top. Another little look below. Now it's found something. Can you see? It's caught a freshwater crayfish, holding onto it with its claws while it eats it. That makes a tasty change when your main diet is worms. I'd say the platypus is really enjoying that. I wanted to write a platypus song, so I sat on the bank of an old billabong and decided to wait until one came along so I could describe it to you. But you know, platypi are incredibly shy. and I waited an age for one to swim by. The stars were beginning to appear in the sky. I was just about ready to leave, when suddenly there was a plop in the water and a shape appeared. The ripple spread, and as it neared, a head bobbed up and two eyes peered. A platypus at last. The platypus is a magical creature, 'cause when you examine it feature by feature, it seems Mother Nature is out to defeat you in trying to describe it at all. She's an excellent swimmer. She glides as she goes, aided by flippers attached to her toes. Where there should be a nose, there's a thing, I suppose, that could best be described as a beak. But don't be misled. She isn't a bird. Though she's hatched from an egg, she's not feathers, she's fur. She's at home in the water, but as far as I've heard, she lives in a hole in the ground. An amazing assortment of pieces and bits. Though it doesn't seem possible, you have to admit, that somehow or other the pieces all fit in a marvelous thing called a platypus. Feathers, fur, or fins? Feathers today, and really beautiful feathers too. The beautiful feathers of the black swan. Long, graceful black neck, swimming around. And if you look, see there's a white tip on the end of the feathers. Looking for food. This one's trying to sleep. There's a red eye, a red beak too. Oh, time to wake up. Do a bit of grooming. If you want to look beautiful, you've got to look after your feathers. There you can see the white on the tips of these feathers now. Oh, there. So it's not completely black. Final piece of grooming. Ah, there's a friend waiting in the water, so it's time for a swim. Whoops, nearly fell over there. Not too graceful on land, but absolutely beautiful when it gets into the water. Off it goes. Shadow on the water, the day is almost done. Gather up your family, keep them safe from harm. Shadow on the water, against the dying sun, like swans. Shadow on the water, black swans. Shadow on the water, black swans. Shadow on the water, I'll miss you when you're gone, black swan. Shadow on the water. Shadow on the water, I wish that you could stay, but soon you're gonna leave me. It has to be that way. I wish that I could be like you and simply fly away, black swan. Shadow on the water, black swan. Shadow on the water, black swan. Shadow on the water, I'll miss you when you're gone, black swan. Black swan. Shadow on the water, black swan. swan. I'll miss you when you're gone, black swan. Black swan. Black swan. Black swan. Black swan. Black swan. Bit of a puzzle, this fella. I guess comes under the heading of skin. Yes, there's some skin there, but look, very spiky skin indeed. The spiky skin of the echidna. Very strange little creature that in fact hunts termites. People think it's an anteater, but it in fact chases termites. It's got very sharp claws. They look a bit like hands actually, with one very long finger. And when it's frightened, it curls up into a ball. Digs itself a little hole, gets away from the world. Those spikes do look sharp, don't they? Off it goes for a walk in the bush, looking for something to eat. And look at that tongue. Very handy for chasing out those termites. Searching through the grass. And when it's had enough, off for another walk. Must be difficult to walk with such long claws and so many spikes on your body. But it seems to do okay, doesn't it? Nose down, still smelling. What's this? Maybe it missed something back there. Aha! Found something. I love my echidna, I love my echidna. No one else has got a bit like mine. He's prickly and small, he won't chase a ball, but me and my echidna get on fine. Dogs and cats and birds are fun, but they're not right for everyone, and an elephant's too big to keep at home. Though occasionally he spikes me, deep down I know he likes me. It's fun to have an echidna of your own. I love my echidna, I love my echidna. I met him when we both were very young. It was purely by chance, he was looking for ants, which he caught with his long and sticky tongue. Now when I take him to a barbecue, I don't need to tell him what to do. Well, he keeps the bugs and ants away from me. At picnics he's a big success. Well, you couldn't fail to be impressed at how useful an echidna friend can be. I love my echidna, I love my echidna. No one else has got a pet like mine. He's prickly and small, he won't chase a ball, but me and my echidna get on fine. Now dogs and cats and birds are fun, but they're not right for everyone, and an elephant's too big to keep at home. Though occasionally he spikes me, deeper down I know he likes me. It's fun to have an echidna of your own. Oh yes, it's fun to have an echidna of your own. The kookaburra. Sometimes referred to as a laughing jackass, but kookaburra. It's a good word, isn't it? Kookaburra. And the Kookaburra has one of the most amazing calls. It sounds like somebody laughing hysterically, and you'll hear that a little bit later on. But this particular little fellow has been injured, and that's why he's here, and he's being nursed back to health, and as soon as his injury has been fixed, he'll be back into the wild, hopefully laughing very loudly. What do you say? Isn't that a great laugh? And they make their homes in the trees. That's where they're happiest. This one's home is in this hollowed out tree trunk, halfway up the tree. And see, the colour of the Kookaburra makes it difficult to spot in the tree because it's almost the same colour as its surroundings. Long, sharp, powerful beak. It's a meat eater. In fact, we'll chase after snakes, worms, grubs. Ah, this one's looking for food. Even though they're wild, it's quite easy to hand feed them. Very tasty. But if you feed one, you better feed them all. Where's mine? Thank you. Something down here for this one. Another piece of meat. Give it a shake. Ah, that's good. Now I can eat it. Kookaburra, cackling in the Kookaburra tree. Kookaburra, can you tell me why you constantly? You seem to be much happier than the other bushland folk. You always get me wondering why you're such a happy bloke. What do you find so funny? Would you like to share the joke? Mr. Kookaburra, oh, Kookaburra, cackling in the Kookaburra tree. Kookaburra, can you tell me why you constantly? For as long as I remember, I have always found it's hard to be downhearted whenever you're around. There's something magic in your happy laughing sound, Mr. Kookaburra. Oh, Kookaburra, cackling in the Kookaburra tree. Kookaburra, can you tell me why you constantly? Why you constantly? Mr. Kookaburra. Hello. Hello. This is probably the most famous Australian in the whole world. The kangaroo, the super marsupial kangaroo. And this one, it's got a little joey in its pouch. Do you want something else to eat? Can you see? Little head popping out. Live in their mother's pouch. And they feed in there as well. Go on, Mum, would you like something? She might have had enough. Oh, here's another one with the joey. Here you are. Okay. These kangaroos are all in a reserve, so they're very tame. They're used to being hand-fed. But of course, the kangaroos out in the wild, that's a different story. Any strange noise, and the kangaroo is off. Even at feeding time, the kangaroo has to be very alert for any intruders. Constantly looking around. Here's one. Listening. Big ears. And off again. From Paris to Peru, people form a queue just for the chance to view a kangaroo. From Baghdad to Bangkok, the folks are sure to flock. To see a kangaroo, they have to go to the zoo. The super-marsupial kangaroo, kangaroo. There's nothing quite like a kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo. The super-marsupial kangaroo. From Perth to Narrabri, you'll see them hopping by beneath a clear blue sky, roaming free. So if you want to see a roo and you don't want to go to the zoo, the bush in Australia's the only place you'll ever see. The super-marsupial kangaroo, kangaroo. There's nothing quite like a kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo. The super-marsupial kangaroo. Super-marsupial kangaroo, kangaroo. There's nothing quite like a kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo. The super-marsupial kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo. There's nothing quite like a kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo. The super-marsupial kangaroo.
Hello. Shell or scale or skin? Skin or scaly skin. The skin of a beautiful carpet snake. You see? Got the name because it could be the pattern on a carpet. This is not a poisonous snake, and this particular one is about 2 meters long. Hey, quite friendly in fact. But of course, don't ever step on a snake. There are lots of different types of snakes.
This snake has a beautifully patterned head and a plain body. And some snakes live up in the trees. Look at the forked tongue of this black snake. And the shiny black scales on its skin. Snakes are very difficult to see when they're lying still. You could mistake it for a stick or a log. So you've got to be very, very careful not to tread on one. Long, black, scaly body, narrowing down to the tip of its tail. When you're walking in the bush, please stay on the track and never wander through the undergrowth. 'Cause if you're not observant, you might tread on a serpent, which could be quite unpleasant for you both. For you both. I've assessed the situation, and I simply want to say, be cautious when you're in his habitat. Though he's not aggressive, he's inclined to be possessive. And you can hardly blame a snake for that, snake for that. Don't ever step on a snake, or you're making a big mistake. For the sake of your protection, I suggest you change direction. Get out of there for good, for goodness sake. Don't ever step on a snake. The surprise may be more than he can take. And you'd feel the same way too if someone stepped on you while you're lying in the sunshine half awake. Be kind to old Joe Blake. Never ever step upon a snake. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a snake and have to slip and slide along the ground? It really can't be funny to be stuck there on your tummy without a pair of legs to get you round, get you round. So you see it isn't easy to be so misunderstood. Try to see it from his point of view. It's really rather sad when the whole world thinks you're bad. But I don't really hate Joe Blake, do you? Joe Blake, do you? Don't ever step on a snake, or you're making a big mistake. For the sake of your protection, I suggest you change direction. Get out of there for good, for goodness sake. Don't ever step on a snake. The surprise may be more than he can take. And you'd feel the same way too if someone stepped on you while you're lying in the sunshine half awake. Be kind to old Joe Blake. Never ever step upon, never ever step upon, never ever step upon a snake.
The beautiful white feathers of the sulphur-crested cockatoo. That's why it's a sulphur-crested. See? The golden crest on the top there. This fellow, of course, is a pet cockatoo, although there are lots of cockatoos out in the wild. This fellow's name is Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Charlie. And he can talk, but he may not talk now. Cockatoos are very intelligent. Charlie's particularly intelligent, aren't you, Charlie? See? Hello, Charlie. Hey, hey, hey. There's a cockatoo, high in the treetop, having a look around. It uses its beak and its claws to climb with. And when it's not flying, it likes to walk around, on the ground, or up in the tree. What's it looking for, I wonder? Tasty leaf, perhaps? When it's cold, fluffs up its feathers. Back to the ground. Maybe there's a seed here. The sulphur-crested cockatoo is very common in Australia. There are tens of thousands out in the wild flying around. And when they're not flying, they spend their time in the trees. Like this one. Picking at the branches and exploring. It may sound absurd, but I've heard a bird who screeches and makes speeches in the spoken word. He's got a snow-white coat, and he can even quote some lines from famous poems that Henry Lawson wrote. And though he's not been known to use a telephone, he can hold a conversation on his own. He'll say, "G'day," and then he'll fly away. But he'll be back to talk to us another day. He's a cockatoo, and he will talk to you, or imitate any sound you want him to. He's a cockatoo, he's Aussie through and through. He's a "Hello, cocky, have a cracker. Hello, cocky, what's the matter?" He's a sulphur-crested cockatoo. He comes to visit me and sits up in a tree and demonstrates his very vast vocabulary. When he says, "Hello, mate," you know his diction's great. If I could talk as well as him, I'd run the state. He's a cockatoo, and he will talk to you, or imitate any sound you want him to. He's
He's a cockatoo, he's Aussie through and through. He's a hello cocky, have a cracker. Hello cocky, what's the matter? He's a sulphur-crested cockatoo. He's a cockatoo, and he will talk to you, or imitate any sound you want him to. He's a cockatoo, he's Aussie through and through. He's a hello cocky, have a cracker. Hello cocky, what's the matter? He's a sulphur-crested cockatoo. He's a cockatoo, and he will talk to you, or imitate any sound you want him to. He's a cockatoo, he's Aussie through and through. He's a hello cocky, have a cracker. Hello cocky, what's the matter? He's a sulphur-crested cockatoo. Feathers, fur or fins, shell or scale or skin. If it runs on legs or flies on wings, if it walks or crawls or slithers or swims, it's got its place in the scheme of things. Feathers, fur or fins, shell or scale or skin.